I just wanted to ask you, Pauline, you've been out of it for 12 years and now you're back into it. And I think back then you were ahead of your time and you really got slammed. Like, we've had lots of conversations about this, and you were slammed by media, by other, by other politicians, by the people of Australia. What's changed in those 12 years where now you can come back and say, you know what, I was right back then?
Actually, Lisa, it's more than 12 years. I've been out of the party for 12 and a half years since I've been out of the party, and I resigned in 2002. I gave my maiden speech in Parliament in 1996. So 96, 97, 98, that was my time when I was in Parliament. So it is so relevant. What I said back then is actually happening now. And I saw the destruction of our industries and manufacturing. On a weekly basis, you can hear of another closure of an industry or business, more jobs going. The economy is bad shape. Terrible.
I'm glad you brought that up, because you obviously are a big fan of the Ford motor industry.
We have to look after our car industry, by all means.
Now, one of the suggestions I saw on your website was to give a rebate of $5,000 to Australians at the point of sale when purchasing an Australian-made car. So that's for any Australian-made vehicle.
That's right.
$5,000 cash back. So I go down to Holden or Ford,
correct,
$22,000 car, I get $5,000 back as soon as I buy. How can you justify funding something like that?
You have to. See, at the moment, since 2001, the Australian government has poured $500 million into the car industry per year. And the federal government is now putting another $34 million into it just this year alone, and it's still going to close in 2016. So we have to have our own car manufacturing industry. It's not just the car manufacturing, the flow on from that, and it's about a $49 billion industry to Australia. So there's jobs all the way down the line.
Now, Pauline, I think the big thing is asylum seekers. Seems to be the asylum seeker election, this election. You've got tents going up on Nauru, you've got tents going up in PNG.
Yep.
You feel that either of these solutions aren't going to work?
No, they're not going to work, because the boats are still coming. Since Rudd announced the PNG, there's been, another 2,000 people that have actually come into the country. They're going to keep coming. They say they are going to keep coming. You take it back to Indonesia. That's where the boats are coming from. You deal with Indonesia. I cannot believe I do not see any strong leadership from Kevin Rudd to deal with this issue. The temporary protection visas is the way to go with this. He needs to say to Indonesia, we give you $650 million a year in foreign aid. You will use part of that foreign aid to deal with the boats leaving the shores. You don't get police and government officials to actually be involved in the people smuggling and the corruption. Give buses to take the people smugglers to not the people smugglers, but the refugees to the people smugglers and put them on boats.
So what you're saying is you believe there should be stops there.
Yes,
but
definitely.
How does that stop the boats coming to Australia?
Because you round up the people smugglers. They know who they are. There was one in the courts they wouldn't release back to Australia. So the people smugglers are in Indonesia. Then you stop the people smugglers, and as I've got part of my policy, they get a 10-year minimum jail term in Indonesia.